The dream lives on for the Brazilians.
Bingo, bango, bongo, bish, bash, bosh.
Hello guys, welcome back. We are now going into day 3, which concluded yesterday, for me. Round 4, which means no more best of ones for anyone. So all 2-1 games, all 1-2 games, all qualifiers and knockouts. So, in the order of which they happened, let me just bring them up now. We had Vitality Greyhound, Outsiders Fnatic, EG versus Cloud9, and Gamer Nation versus Furia. Alright, so Vitality Greyhound was the first game. This wasn't totally surprising. Greyhound played very, very well. Vexite played amazingly on Mirage. Greyhound put in a really good showing, especially on the second map. But it wasn't going to happen for Greyhound. I think that was unsurprising. I mean, they pulled off that amazing win against Cloud9 in overtime. But I mean, obviously it was best of one, so stuff like that happens. But impressive to see Greyhound go double digits. You know, as much as I'd like to say I'd never doubt the Australians, they are not that good. So, you know, they put in a good showing. It was a good game, but Vitality, you know, meant to be the best team, meant to be applicants for the final of this tournament, and they're not playing anywhere near that standard. But still, even with that in mind, Greyhound put in a confident showing, and actually I would be pretty happy if I was Greyhound with that showing. I thought that was pretty impressive. So then you had Outsiders versus Fnatic, which was a nightmare, honestly, for Fnatic. I have no idea what it's going to do for their confidence going into today, or day 4. But they went 15-0 in the first half of Mirage. I think it was Mirage. 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure it was. Nope, it was Overpass. Oh, of course it was, yes. So, yes. So, it was a little bit outrageous. Fnatic got the pistol round, so they didn't get totally crushed. But Outsiders, I mean, they've disappeared all tournament, and then all of a sudden, well, I say all tournament, I say day 1, they were abysmal. They played terribly. They didn't look confident. James was just not showing up. It was just terrible. Like, if you were going based off stats, it wasn't looking good for them. I mean, they beat IHC, but it was closer than it should have been. I mean, but then on day 2, they beat Vitality, and granted, Vitality didn't play an amazing game of Nuke, but I think it was. Not going through this again. I'm pretty sure it was Nuke. You know, Vitality, they didn't play great. I still wasn't too confident looking at Outsiders, but Outsiders against Fnatic put up a really impressive showing. I mean, there was quite a lot of close rounds in the 15-0 half for Fnatic, but really, honestly, Fnatic were getting wrecked. The second game looked a lot more confident for Fnatic, but it just kind of crumbled towards the end, and that was always, looking at how the game was going, it makes perfect sense that it was 2-0 for Outsiders. So we'll move on to the next game, honestly. I mean, I don't really have much more to say. I feel like the people who should be showing up for Fnatic were just not showing up. And for some reason, they were panicking, and I'm not too sure why. And Outsiders have really shown up and really impressed me. So, you know, even on the first day, it looked like, you know, Outsiders were going to go 1-3, but actually they ended up going 3-1 in the end. So actually, it's pretty impressive showing from Outsiders. Right, so the next game, EG versus Cloud9. Now, this game would not be hard to predict. However, Cloud9 have not had a very impressive tournament. Right, like, they went 0-2 on the first day. They had a game against him, like a terrible looking Imperial. Like Imperial have been played terribly this tournament. They had some comebacks or whatever, but really, they just couldn't close it. They just couldn't close it out. They had some massive chokes. So that was the Cloud9's only win. They lost against Greyhound. It was not looking good for Cloud9. But they were really confident against EG. I think EG are not a very good team. But that being said, I would say they proved themselves a little bit more. There was a little bit of uncertainty towards the end of the second game on the side of Cloud9. But honestly, I think Cloud9 pretty confidently closed this one out. As you can see, I don't think there's really much to say about this. Everyone kind of saw this coming. Cloud9, amazing team, new Cloud9 old Gambit, basically, from many years ago since you've looked at the pro scene. But to be honest, I think Cloud9, yeah, pretty good. Pretty confident showing from Cloud9. That's what you like to see. Now, Fury versus Gamer Legion. Now, this threw me off. Because I was thinking Fury looked pretty weak this tournament. However, they got motivated by the crowd this time. So the crowd did help this time. There was a little bit of assistance with walls and information and stuff from the crowd. But honestly, I think this game was pretty convincingly Fury as well. There was a lot of one-sided convincing games today. The Gamer Legion, I think once again the nerve showed up for him, kind of like how it did against BNE. I think, in front of raving Brazilians, they had a bit of a comeback on the second game. I think on Inferno, but didn't really do anything in the end. It was always going to close out. It didn't look really bad for Furia, and then all of a sudden they got it. I thought it was closer than it. I remember it being closer than it was, but actually, obviously, I don't think Gamer Legion really had. I like Gamer Legion. I want to see Gamer Legion go through. Problem is they're up against Cloud9, and Cloud9 I feel really woke up. Even though, and get they were against OG, but they really woke up yesterday. So we'll have to see. I mean, Gamer Legion are a really solid team. They're now under pressure now, though, because in the best of ones, no pressure really. They can just fluke a win from teams, and they fluked 2 wins, going 2-0, and then they lost against BNE, and it kind of took the wind out of their sails a little bit. I mean, I think they're a quality team, and I think they can go far in this tournament. Far. I mean, I think they'll do pretty well in the Legend stage. They might get through. I think they'll get into the Legend stage, but they have to beat Cloud9. I think the results for tomorrow's matchups. I think OG could win against Vitality. I think OG will win. Fnatic should win against HainZz, because even though HainZz got beaten by Big pretty badly yesterday, and even though Big have shown that actually they're pretty decent even without Searson. Without Searson, I think they are. I think that, or are they without Farven? One of the two. They're without one of their main. They're down a player basically, and without that player, they've proved that they can still put in a pretty decent performance. So now we've just got but they crushed HainZz yesterday. I mean, HainZz took it to overtime in the second map, but I just think Big won. Really, I mean they should have won earlier, but it was against Fnatic. Fnatic had an abysmal game against Outsiders. I don't really know what that was about. It was clearly just some bad calls or bad strats or they're just not very good on overpass or something. But it's one of Outsiders' best maps, overpass. So I don't understand why Fnatic would pick it if they're so not confident on it. I remember a post-game interview talking about Fnatic being a bit shaky, or one of the Outsiders players said that Fnatic just repeated the same strats they used in their practice or something when they were training against them or something, which is just weird. Why would you do that? Because surely you know that Outsiders know all your strats then. But I mean, maybe I'm overthinking it. But my prediction for tomorrow is OG win. I think OG will beat Vitality. I don't think I can see that story, right? No, Vitality. Vitality knocked down the Challenger stage. 2 disappointing majors in a row. I think I could see that happening. I think Fnatic will beat HainZz. I think it's just too unlikely for HainZz to win. I think they'll have all the Brazilians will want them to win, but honestly, I just don't think HainZz have the quality. I think Fnatic are a quality, good team. As long as they don't pick Overpass, I think they'll be fine. Gamer Legion versus Cloud9, that's a lot harder to call because I think Gamer Legion have been playing really well, but they're clearly very nervous. I think Cloud9 have been playing very badly, but they're very confident. So really, this is a game. I'd say I'd use the Cloud9 Gamer Legion game that is happening later today as a psychology on whether skill or mental toughness is more important for CSGO pro games in a major. Because I think Gamer Legion will choke. I think Gamer Legion will feel the pressure. But I think they're playing better than Cloud9 are right now. I think Gamer Legion should win this. I think Gamer Legion should win against Cloud9. However, I think Cloud9 have a little bit more major experience. I don't really mind. Both of them are in my pick'ems. But I kind of want to see Gamer Legion go through. I think they're a really interesting wildcard team. To be honest, one argument would say if Cloud9 go through, I feel like my pick'ems might be slightly easier. But I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't be. But I hope these games are just as one-sided as the other games because I want my next stage of pick'ems to be easier. I almost failed this stage with Greyhound winning and outsiders just randomly dropping a map to and it wasn't random against Mouse. Mouse are a good team, but you know what I mean. So that's it for day 3. I mean, I'm probably going to be doing another Legends pick'ems video. I had just some information about a Spirit player possibly match fixing, which would be interesting. I might even just record that video now. It's not related to the major, but it's interesting because it could mean something for stickers, but we don't know yet, and probably not. But who knows? Who knows, right? There's always opportunities to make money on the Steam market, but I think, yeah. So how these games have basically gone is they're very decisive games. 2-0 Vitality, 2-0 Outsiders, 2-0 Cloud9, and 2-0 Furia. Not too unexpected. Wasn't really that many upsets today. I guess you could say Outsiders Fnatic was a bit of an upset. Guess you could say Furia Gamer Legion was a little bit of an upset, but actually, to be honest, Furia were favoured in that matchup pretty heavily, I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the final best of 3s for the Legends stage. And again, I will be doing my Legends pick'ems and probably in a video. Hope everyone enjoys hope everybody enjoys the final day, and hopefully we've got our silver coin, boys. We just need Fnatic to win.